Hi, I'm Undead Jess,
I'm Danny Knightmare,
and we're Horror Addicts.
and welcome to our very first full moon review. Before we get into what movie we're doing, let's go over the review policy for full moon. First of all, you should kind of know what you're getting into with a full moon movie. They're schlocky, they're campy, there's usually a bunch of puppets, but lovable iconic characters, but they're little to no budget. So the effects are going to be bad, the acting is going to be awfully bad sometimes, but doesn't mean it can't be enjoyable.
You sure about that?
So we're not going to compare the full moon movies to big budget theater productions and other type of movies.
It doesn't necessarily say like full moon movies are good or bad.
It has some stinkers. They like to draw the line of it's almost so bad that it's good, and they're very good at making that work. Not every one of them ends up meeting that criteria. Some just suck.
That's right, fat boy.
So keep that in mind with the full moon reviews, that we're comparing them to other full moon movies. If you don't like full moon, you're probably not going to like any of the full moon movies. If you don't like trauma movies, you're probably not going to like any of the trauma movies. Speaking of which, our friends at Screaming Soup are doing a trauma versus full moon war. So you should probably click on there and subscribe to our friends there. They're going to have a great animated battle. Like for me, I hate most of the Sci-Fi Network movies, but I do like the Sharknado movies, and the first Lavalantula was pretty good. But I hate all those big, like, mega shark versus mechapus, and whatever the hell they're called. I don't know. Most of those are really bad.
Oh, what, sand sharks?
Sand sharks.
Stupid.
So if you like some full moon movies, or you're open to the idea, we're going to try and tell you which ones to check out and which ones to avoid. But if you hate campy schlock, then you might want to just avoid them altogether.
We're gonna start things with a bang with KILLJOY'S Psycho Circus.
That just exploded out in 2016. Now I know this isn't the first Killjoy movie. Why are we not starting with the first one? Well, that movie kinda is what it says, a Killjoy. And we wanted to start off on a positive foot, so yeah, we're gonna skip to the newest one for two reasons. The first one
Sucks.
and this is the newest one, so it's more
Topical.
written and directed by John Lechago. KILLJOY'S fifth installment, which is very surprisingly one of the best. It's one of those rare series where the first was actually the worst.
It is the fourth time Trent Haga has played Killjoy.
And if you ask our opinion, he's the better of the two.
Oh yeah.
Though I think it's hilarious because in this movie, Killjoy interviews Trent Haga, and Killjoy himself feels Angel Vargas was the better of the two. That Trent Haga was too Hollywood.
Reminded me of when Dave Brocky interviewed Otis Youngus.
Yeah, it was actually kind of like that.
Nobody's coming to my dinner party. No one. Party canceled.
Well, thank you, Otis. You've been a great guest. I find you eloquent, erudite, fragrant, and completely superfluous.
And it was also one of the best kills in the movie. Now, this being the fifth movie, to catch you up, the first two don't really get counted because the third one kind of rebooted things. Killjoy killed a bunch of teens, but this final girl got away. So in the fourth movie,
Killjoy went down the hell because he was too soft to be a demon.
yeah, he was put on trial, and it didn't really go out his way, but he managed to escape and go to Earth.
And that's where the fifth one starts off.
He's in Earth, and Beelzebub, the devil who was judging him in the fourth one, has been dehorned and is now in big trouble by what looks like the bad guys from Superman 2. There's actually some Superman references in here, a little more than just that. Beelzebub gets to Earth, and he's almost like Zod, where he tells the Earth that they have like 13 hours to hand over Killjoy, or he's gonna blow up everything, and he gives them a little taste of things to come with.
Blowing up Paris.
But before all that sci-fi nonsense starts to happen, Killjoy finds himself on Earth. He's slowly becoming kind of a semi-mortal.
You also got the public access channel, KILLJOY'S Psycho Circus, you know, it's fun.
You know, what the movie is called, Psycho Circus. Which is a pretty cool show. There's just one problem. As we were watching it, we're like, oh yay, Batty Boop. Wait a minute. Doesn't even look like the same actress. And more importantly...
Why is she wearing clothes?
Exactly. She's supposed to be naked with body paint.
Just use some titties.
Thankfully, not too long into the movie, we find out that it is a fake baddie.
It's like if the Joker replaced Harley Quinn.
Yeah, The original wouldn't stand for it, nor would the fans. And when she comes back, she's in body paint and not much else, just the way we like her. Played by Veronica D. Moore. She points out to Killjoy that they're slowly becoming more and more mortal. Killjoy himself is bleeding, their paint is starting to peel off and not come back. And she's ovulating, which means he might become a daddy. All this possibly becoming a father business has got the guy rather spooked, and he doesn't want to stay mortal, so hopefully he can skip town and leave this planet. To do so, he's got his handyman building him a spaceship and some crazy-ass guns.
With interesting names.
But before they can leave Earth, they're confronted by...
His fans.
Yeah, a whole club of them, apparently. They like the CIRCUS. And it's good because he rallies them just in time before he's confronted by...
The 6 psychos.
Yeah, 6 psychos. Though there's only 5. We won't spoil that 6th one for you, but yeah, he basically fights the 6 psychos and they look just like...
Guar.
But like really old school Guar, like Hello album Guar, not Scumdogs, like really bad paper mache type Guar in the mid 80s. So they do battle with them, and then this is kind of where the movie kind of takes a turn for me. Not in the right direction so much, because it becomes very sci-fi, almost like a rated R Star Trek.
A lot of spaceships fighting each other, which doesn't make any sense.
Not much in a Killjoy movie.
No.
Like, it didn't ruin it for me. I really like the characters still, but I don't know. The third one and the fourth one was more about, demons and stuff like that, which made more sense for the Killjoy. And now it's all very sci-fi, and so they do battle in space, and things get a little crazy. The CGI kind of sucks, but for this movie, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
And the practical effects that they did have in the movie looked good. It's just, it's one of those movies where it doesn't have to look good. It's just so funny and charming on its own. It was pretty hilarious. So, I highly recommend, if you're a Killjoy fan and you haven't seen this one yet, you definitely need to see this one. Might not be the completely best in the series, but it's definitely towards the top. And if you're just a Full Moon fan, I recommend you watch the Killjoy movies, but you might want to just start at part 3.
Yeah, 1 and 2 suck.
They're kind of only movies in this one, since they don't really go with the story of 3 and 4 and 5. But at least they're mentioned. So set those speeds to ludicrous, and let's blast on out of here. We'll see you next full moon.
Ooh!